All right, let's get into the paper review now and get to know what the papers are saying. We have joining us a journalist and social commentator, Charles Ideho. Charles, good morning.
Good morning.
Good
nice
morning.
to see you.
Nice to see you.
All right, let's begin with the Punch newspaper. Now, the boldest headline here says, Dixon meets El Rufai, says restructuring best for Nigeria. Regional leaders seek single-term presidency at Ohaneze Summit. This development, we're back again to the restructuring. And that is one thing Nigerians will say, so many Nigerians will say, well, restructuring means different things to people. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it always comes up right before elections.
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
and then they will mouth it and then use it to win certain things, and at the end of the day, everybody goes to sleep, which is why we've not made any progress in Nigeria. And it's quite sad that we who are the followers, we do not seem to understand the body language of this politician, that they use us to get to feather their nest. After that, then we all of us can go to hell. Restructuring has been on with us for quite a while. But I see no leader. They want to use it to win certain things, but none of them has ever come out to explain to us exactly what they mean by restructuring. Are we going to go the six geo zones? Are we going to retain the 36 straight structure, or are we going to go back to the?
But the Constitutional Conference had handled all
nobody
of
wants
those
to touch
issues.
that. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Because when it was convoked, the government, even the incoming government, they didn't like it. So it would be like, honestly, like eating their own vomit if they went back. So that's exactly where it is. But I do understand that a lot of things, far-reaching decisions were made, and so they may not implement all of them wholesale, but they could just pick out some
very salient
to help us over there.
But do you ever see them ever really going back to that constitution?
Not like
yeah. Why do you? So are we going to start all over again to have a conference to talk about, discuss this unity of Nigeria?
Well, there may not be any conference coming in the foreseeable future. But what I'm saying is that if all the leaders who are there, and even those incoming leaders, once they get over there, the system helps them. The system keeps them. The system makes them worthy. The system is very comfortable for them. So it's easy for you to say, it's just like people who are playing draft, or are you? When you are watching at the side, like, oh no, you should have done it. No,
exactly.
No, but you get in there, you see that
it's a different ballgame.
So that's what they are doing. For instance, Buhari, when he was campaigning, some of us campaigned for him that time. You saw, we're going to do this, but when he got there, the game changed.
Well, we have an aspirant who says it's going to take him just 6 months to do this.
No, it's Atiku. We need to mention names. We need to be able to hold them to account.
We've heard that before.
Within 6 months, he's good. I said,
we've heard that before.
What is going to lead by fiat when you have National Assembly, the ubiquitous National Assembly still working for him?
Well, the point is Nigerians have heard this before.
We've heard it. It's not new.
It's not new. Well, we have Buhari Atiku shouldn't contest presidency in 2019. Northern Coalition is saying that. Now,
Northern Coalition?
When it comes to whoever it is, when it comes to don't contest, if people have the constitutional right to contest, why not? If you don't want it, you can get your PVC, isn't it?
I don't vote.
Or you can vote for whoever you want to vote for.
It's a constitutional right to vie for that position, but it's your constitutional right also to reject them at the polls. So it's only for this, we don't want them, No, if you don't want them, let your ballot speak.
Exactly.
And the question is, what group of this Northern Coalition?
But
so tomorrow, tomorrow we'll have a new group saying we want them to run.
All right, let's run through. Obasanjo visits Afenifere leaders, seeks support to rescue Nigeria. Economic growth shrinks to 1.95%, and analysts warn against another recession. And IMF doubts Nigeria's capacity to repay debts. Ooh. That's they were saying at the time, well, your debts.
But something I think it's quite sad we're back to this ignominious route again, because in 2005, specifically when Obasanjo was there, he was able to pay about $18 billion something per club. I know,
the rest was
written off. So I don't know how we now pile up all these things. I think right now, we are owing up to about 20 or if I'm not mistaken. How did we get
about
back there
$18 billion?
So I think, because borrowing really is not death sentence. But when you borrow and then you channel that to the critical sector, let there be massive do you know what I just make an example about the K2 community. You want to build about 500 house units. Do you know what it's going to do to the economy of K2? You're going to be having people who are going to be supplying sand, so people who are going to be cooking, who are going. People are going to be so you are busting up the economy of the people. But when the money comes, is hidden somewhere. You have stagnated the system. So that's what they don't know.
Exactly.
It all boils down to leadership failure.
Yeah, the leadership failure, yes.
APC to meet with Saraki Dogara, that's the Nation newspaper. Dogara
APC to meet, but I thought they were part
to
of
meet
APC.
with Saraki Dogara, Wamako, others.
Okay.
Well, what do you have to say?
Well, because, you know, we have the splinter groups, we have the NPDP, we still have the CPC. This is why the problem of APC continues, because what they did was that when the PDP was there, the largest party in the whole Africa, no single party could square it up with them. So they just want, it's just like the enemy of Mike is my enemy.
Exactly.
So the enemy of ACN was the enemy of ANPP. The enemy of ANPP was the enemy of CPC. What they need to do was not go to coalesce, to remove the PDP. Once they removed it, everybody was now, the centrifugal forces now started setting in. Everybody was now going. Why you should be having NPDP when you have APC?
APC, exactly.
So which means they're still retaining their platform, which is wrong for our democracy.
Yeah. Restructuring North Youth state terms. Restructuring North Youth state terms. What do you think these terms could be?
Northern youth terms.
Yeah.
Well, the issue of restructuring has never been a popular subject up north. Of course, you might, even if you don't read the whole story, you can preempt them. You can even say, okay, this is exactly what it's only paid. It's the restructuring. We also pay not better, but most of them don't, because the leaders who are there now who are benefiting from the existing system, we always almost sell it. It's going to be
well, it has to do with this continuous suspicion. One region against the other. But we know that, in fact, in 1979, when we transited from military and then adopted the presidential, that was restructuring.
It was restructuring.
You understand?
Because
even the military system was restructuring
too.
In 1999, when we had the Democrat, it was restructuring.
But for me, I think we could allow the existing 36-state structure to remain. But since they are all part of zones. For instance, you had in the South, where you have the Braid States Commission, the acronym BROA, that's Bayelsa Rivers and so on. They had that commission, but along the line, maybe mutual suspicion couldn't also let it go. You also have the Dawn Commission here in the Southwest. So each of these zones could coalesce and find a way to grow, so that what we had pre-first coup could also exist. When people have each region had to grow. You had the cocoa house in the Southwest, you had the Ahmadu Bello, and then the Granite Pyramids. All these things can come back if we want to do it.
Yeah, we have to run on now. That's that. Okay, let's move to the Daily Sun quickly. 2019, Obasanjo Afenifere team up against Buhari. And then we have APC chair, Oshomole seeks Carlos' support as he contests for the chairmanship of the APC. The Southeast leaders roar, propose 6-year single-term presidency, demand regional autonomy, state of residency. Falai Clark, Ghana, Odumakin attend summit in solidarity.
And of course, Soludo also said we need to have 5 VPs,
5 vice presidents.
Every region.
That's restructuring.
Yes, exactly.
But what they are flying, the kite they are flying about 6 yet single term is not quite, it doesn't sit with me. Because when somebody goes in there, you need another one to consolidate. So when you just go in there, then after 6 years you are gone, it doesn't make any sense.
No, but it's just because we're not used to it yet.
No,
when it comes to,
and then
they're talking about 6 years of, it's just a single term. So do whatever you can do. If you want to maintain your party, because it's not about you, it's about your party, it's about Nigeria in the first place. So if you have programs, so much programs, your party should be able to continue after your.
The presidency will become commonplace. After 6 years,
another person comes.
Another one.
Well, 6 years is a long time.
It's a long time.
Not quite long in development. Not quite long in development if you really want to look at it that way.
So 8 years is enough?
Yeah, but of course, take a look at what's happening in Lagos State. Let's use Lagos as a benchmark. I mean, you saw in 4 years somebody started, then you are beginning to see the manifestation of what he did in 4 years. So, but if you had given
But since the political party has maintained and sustained itself from 1999 until now,
I won't vote for that 6 years.
But
all right.
I'm also
It's
saying,
okay.
if
We-
you have
we
a
have to-
president who stays for 4 years and then he's voted out, and we have a new president,
Then he's voted out. He's voted out.
It's almost the same
It
thing.
was not decreed into place. It was voted out.
all right.
Okay, so let's go
move
to Vanguard. 2019, Afenifere backs Obasanjo's bid to stop the APC. Southeast ADC stakeholders laud ex-president's use of party platform. And farmers' headers clashes force reversal of upward GDP trend. We'll talk about that later. And then troops kill 35 headers in Benue, 1 soldier missing, 1 killed, 2 wounded, still on headers that we'll talk about.
Yeah, we're
We've
talking
discussed
about it on the
mostly
show.
everything. And today, Arabi Shale in his column writes that Kingsley Moghalu and others like him can be Emmanuel Macron of Nigeria. Do you see Kingsley and those who also want to contest ever?
Well, the thing is that I think about Nigeria, you are just not ripe enough for that kind of presidency. I tell you, I am ripe for it. But when you take a look at the discourse, national discourse, public discourse on the social media, and so you see where the pendulum is swinging. People say, okay, how much of them have you seen? They've not been politicians. They don't have political experience and this and that.
They're
and
not
this
on
and
ground.
That. So, but they've not been on ground ever since. The man has been in the money market as the CBN for a long time. Shogore has been in the trenches, fighting guerrilla war, so to speak. You had some of them. So that's what people are saying, that they are no experience politically. That they ought to have been part of parties to understudy.
But do they have to
That's
be
exactly
members?
what we're
But do they have to? Because that's one question Nigerians are asking. If you have to have experience through the system, the way politics runs in Nigeria, you are part of them to have that experience. When you come out, you're going to be the same.
The system that we've termed corrupt.
But do you know why I support that? Is that the politician you're going to be working with, they might outsmart you. So you need to understand their game before you be able to do certain things they're doing.
Well,
you're just coming in as somebody who okay. We are media men, right? You bring in somebody to superintend over affairs. You don't understand the media. How is he going to speak the language and all of this?
Well, but the
Well
point there is, one thing there is, when it comes to leadership, people have shown leadership in different spheres.
That's right.
You can be
it
a
mustn't be
leader in
politics.
business, and because you're successful in being a leader in business, you can translate it into politics and all.
Mike,
as the case may
that's
be.
when you-
That has to,
when you
because
talk
they say
about-
politics is the game of numbers.
That's when you're talking about an El Dorado-like system where we understand the game so universally. Everybody understands this is how it works. But in Nigeria, it doesn't work this way.
But anything can happen.
So
You remember
are you saying
2015
things-
was a new dawn. Anything can happen.
But who is there now has only been the system.
All right.
And that's what
get there
Nigerians want to
somehow.
change.
We'll get there somehow.
Many Nigerians
Okay,
don't want
let's change it. Let's change it.
Time is against us, but we have to just run through. Let's see
change
the new telegraph. Troops killed 35 herdsmen, soldier killed, another missing in an encounter. 5 Benue farmers murdered, others flee. Army patrol vehicle set ablaze. We'll be talking about this on the show later on. And Saraki Dogara Tamboal won't quit APC. That's the NPDP saying that. And APC opens dialogue, says grievances genuine. Kachiku, $40 billion wasted in Niger Delta in 10 years. 6 review of amnesty program. Well,
But I think the word wasted shouldn't come in. If it says has been spent, it's better. Because most of the things you did there, most of them are wasted. So I think it's just when you just put a blanket in a way wasted. I think that's quite. I would say it's an
it throws
abnormality.
people off balance.
But don't you think
Wasted.
wasted might actually mean it was looted?
Well, but of course, that
And
does
there's
not
no
mean
physical-
that does not mean that positive things. I'm from Niger Delta. That does not mean that positive things have not happened. I mean, with the funds have been put there. So that's why I say wasted is not the language.
what he's saying there is the monies that have been spent is not doesn't
Commensurate.
it's not
Exactly.
commensurate to the projects on ground. So if you put them side by side, there's a lot of discrepancy between what was spent and what we see on ground.
Well, I think they should have looked for another synonym for wasted.
Okay.
Looted me.
No, looted is harder.
No, spent. No, spent is okay.
Spent is better, yes.
We spent this,
or expended.
but it's for Niger Deltans to say, okay, we
didn't see
the value, we didn't get value for money, or we got too much value for money.
Let me quickly say this one about Afenifere and Obasanjo. It's been, I don't know, this marriage between, maybe it's a Mowale kind of thing. I don't know. He's welcome to Afenifere anyway.
Okay, then finally, this day newspaper, Northern Youth asks Buhari Atiku to shelve presidential ambition. We've already discussed that. Oil sector drags down first quarter GDP growth to 1.95%. At Restructuring Summit, Soludo proposes 5 vice presidents, 6-year term limit for president. And we've almost gone through everything. And how lawsuits by middlemen in Malabo deal led to criminal trial of Shell and Eni. And then Metu collapses in court, rushed to National Hospital.
I think the man should be allowed to go treat himself. Because even if he had been certified sick by even the National Hospital, which is government-owned hospital, not even private hospital. So because it's somebody who is fit that can stand trial. If he's there, for instance, and then he's not mentally fit, and then he begins to own up to certain things, he could be convicted. But so I think he should be allowed to go look after his health. But the court earlier had said
that he abused the court process of he should have appealed and requested for earlier on to be granted the bill to go and treat himself. But the point is he kept what is it called? He kept filing an injunction instead of appealing.
Well, but I'm saying, it doesn't diminish the fact that he needs to be treated, because whatever people might think, oh, he's just being theatric, it's a melodrama. But assuming he collapses and he dies, what happens? So I think we should allow him to go so he'll be fit enough to stand trial. What also, I mean, when you have a problem, you also have legal representation. Does it necessarily have to be in court? We also look at those areas.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Charles Ideho, thank you so much for being with us on the paper review this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right. All right, let's take a short breather. When we come back, we'll be talking about the outcome of the congresses held by APC in states across the country. Stay with us.